Hi, my name is Mackenzie and my hair is a mess. But we will ignore that and go into my video about the Meps processing in 2017. So, I'm Air Force. I swore in already, and I don't ship out until April. But my Meps processing experience was super chill. I did have to go twice, but I'll get into that later on in the video. So basically, the first time I went to Meps, it was really impromptu. Like, I decided, well, me and my recruiter kind of squeezed me in like 2 days in advance. Like, it was like Tuesday, and she was like, if you can do Thursday, I'll squeeze you in. And I was like, yeah, okay, that's fine. So the first time I went to Meps, I had my hotel room to myself. So I went. You don't immediately go to the hotel. So let me kind of go back. So I had a shuttle driver drive me to my Meps processing. And the first thing I did was I took the ASVAB that day. I was really nervous about that. I wasn't actually worried about any other part of the process, just the ASVAB. And I ended up doing really well on it. So I was happy about that. And funny thing is, so they take your scores and they put it in a sealed envelope, and you're not supposed to open it within the building. But like, I really, really wanted to know my score. So what I did was I went into the room where you can use the only room where you're allowed to use your cell phone. And I immediately texted my recruiter and I was like, have you got my score yet? Have you got my score yet? Can you see it? Have you got my score? And she texted me back and she was like, hell yeah, you did fucking fantastic. And I was like, okay, everything is good in life. I'm happy. So basically, I ended up staying in the cell phone only room for a long time because you have to wait for everyone else to finish testing before you all shuttle back to the hotel. And so I think because I was so impromptu with coming to Meps, I didn't actually have a roommate. So I had the room to myself. So that was all fine and dandy. We had dinner. We had to be in our room at like 10. And then we had to wake up at 4:30 because breakfast was at like 4:45. So since I had the room to myself, I set my phone alarm, I set the alarm clock alarm, and then at 4:30, like, your room has an alarm, like your phone will go off and it's like, hey, fucking get up. And so I had all three of those alarms to wake me up just in case, I slept through one of my alarms. Of course I didn't. So from that point on, we had breakfast in the morning. I wasn't really hungry because, believe it or not, I don't usually eat breakfast at 4:30 in the fucking morning. But then we went to Meps. We did the whole physical process. They go over a briefing with us. They kind of explain what's going to go on. And then you go through the processing. So, because I have a tattoo, you have to fill out a bunch of paperwork. You have to fill out about your tattoo and all that. Just to, make sure it's nothing inappropriate and it's not going to be like a nuisance to them. So it was fine. And then the first thing I did was I had my blood pressure, had that measured. Then I had to get some blood drawn. That was fine. I'm not afraid of needles. I had to talk to the doctor, kind of go over everything with him, go over my paperwork to make sure, I guess, that I didn't lie to my recruiter. Everything I said to her was the exact same thing I said to him. Everything was fine with that. Then I went and got my hearing done. That was easy peasy. I got my vision tests, which I'm going to go more into my vision later because my vision is the reason that I had to come back to Meps. But after that, I did my physical, and the physical is exactly what you hear it is. It was literally me and 3 other girls. And so we went in, you strip down, you do your height, you do your weight. they have you do all these exercises to make sure you're like, and you're fully capable of moving everything. So, they have you flapping your wrist and rolling them, and you're walking back and forth. You do the duck walk, you speed walk. The only thing I had troubles with is there's one thing you have to do where you have to, so you're squatting and then you have to smash your knees down to the floor, and he has to hear, the doctor, he has to hear your knees make a thud, and they have to go down at the same time. And for some reason, like, I wasn't coordinated enough to make my knees go down at the same time. So he kept making me redo it until I got it perfect. So that was fun. And then I also had to do the duck walk a few times until I got it perfect. But that was fine. Then you privately go see the doctor. At that point, you are completely naked. You only have the little paper robes that you get like typically at hospitals. And because you're a female, if your doctor is a male, then there will be a female just in there with you, just, to calm your nerves or make sure he's not doing anything he shouldn't be. And so they check your breasts, make sure everything's fine, check your back, check downstairs, both places downstairs, make sure everything's A-okay, and everything was fine. And so after that, you go back out, you consult with the doctor one more time, he goes over your paperwork, and then at that point is when usually they'll finish, processing you, send you back to your liaison, and then, you can go swear and then get your job. At that point is when I found out that I was temporarily disqualified because of my eyes, which I knew that I have an issue with my eyes. I know I have astigmatism. But what I didn't realize was my eyes were so bad that I literally needed to have an eye consult. So at that point, I just waited in the cell phone room once again for my shuttle to get here. Then I went home. I did not swear in that day. And then about a week later, my recruiter sent me back to Meps just for my eye consult. And she wanted me there bright and early. So I did another 2 days there. So the first day I just literally stayed at the hotel all day. Once again, I had the room to myself. And so that day I just kind of, chilled by the fireplace, went to the little gift shop, kind of walked around, went to the gym, worked out a bit. I just had a really chill day that day. And then the day of my eye consult, I went back to Meps. I was only there for like 10 minutes or so before another driver came to pick me up and another gentleman up and took us all the way. We went like 2 cities away for some reason to our eye consult. And then it was at that point I found out that yes, I do have astigmatism, but I'm also seeing 2200 uncorrected, and that was the issue. And that with glasses on, I'm seeing 20/25 corrected. So I do not need a waiver, but I am just on that brink of being legally blind. So that was fine. So I went back to Meps after my eye consult. They gave me, they took, a diagram of my eyes. They dilated them. They had me do a bunch of eye tests. It was your stereotypical eye consult. I can go more into detail if need be, but that's for another video. Anyways, so I went back to Meps with all the paperwork. I showed it to the doctor. He signed off on it. It was like, okay, you're good to go. Your medical is fine now. And I was like, yee. So went back to my liaison and I sat down with her. Well, I went to the office and it was specifically her that I was working with. But it's I guess it's unusual, but I ended up getting my job that day. I'm aerospace ground equipment. So I ended up signing a 6-year active duty contract, and I was like, yeah, I'm down. I'm ready. So she gave me my ship out date, and then from that point on, I got sworn in, and I went home. Like, now I'm in DEP's program. And the whole process took me literally 3 weeks. Like, when I say the whole process, I mean from me deciding, you know what, I want to join the Air Force, to me signing the contract and swearing in, that was a 3-week process. Not even a full month. And my recruiter was like, bruh, that never happens. You usually have to wait months to do your consult, but I guess I'm one of the lucky ones. But I'm really excited. And I felt that since a lot of people are wanting to join different military branches, they want to join the armed forces, they probably should be informed. And Meps is not a scary thing. Of all the obstacles you're going to have to go through within the military, Meps is the least of your worries. So I just kind of wanted to do, a brief video. Actually, it's 11 minutes, so it's not that brief, but in comparison to some YouTubers, pretty brief. About, Meps. It's just super easy, and I just wanted to let you guys know that. So there you go, and hopefully this is a good start to my channel. If you have any more questions, just let me know. But otherwise, thank you for watching, and I'll probably be making another video explaining whatever else comes to mind more depth now that I know more about it. And I'll probably be, keeping you guys updated, up until the point where I go to boot camp, to when I'm in tech school. I'll tell you how boot camp was when I get to tech school. Then, throughout tech school, I can kind of brief you on what's going on. And then when I get to my first base, that's probably not going to be until October, November. But then I will, kind of keep you guys just with me. I guess it's like vlogging, but like not. But I'm rambling now, so you guys have an excellent night. I'm going to go celebrate the rest of my birthday, and bye.